Hello and welcome to the official full launch of my Patreon, erinjandacreative. I am so incredibly excited that this is the day of the full launch of my Patreon. I want to give a special thank you to my patrons who have been supporting me since the soft launch of my Patreon page at the very end of February this year. Thank you so much for your support and your encouragement and for just helping me feel like I can really make a creative career for myself. Thank you so much. In this video, I'll be covering a new tier that I'm adding to my Patreon, as well as the benefits that I'll be adding to the already existing tier, as well as the new one. So without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. The first question that I would like to address is why Patreon as a platform? I had done a good bit of research when I was first setting up my YouTube channel and had always intended to have a page like a Patreon at some point in the future. And Patreon is one that is well recognized, it's reputable, it has a really good basis of creatives as well as members. And so I felt like Patreon was the best fit for me, especially at this point in my creative journey. Patreon is a platform that allows creatives to put out their creative work and be monetarily supported by their fans. And a lot of people will typically build up their YouTube channel first and then end up creating a Patreon page, which was sort of the way that I was thinking about it for myself. But being laid off at the beginning of this year, it just shook up all the plans that I had. And I realized that if I wanted to make this creative career of my dreams start to happen, I should really just take the leap and start a Patreon now, even when my YouTube channel is still quite small. And I was just truly surprised and really just flattered. It's hard to describe how I felt when I put out the soft launch of my Patreon and people supported me. It felt amazing, and it was very reaffirming that I'm doing the right thing. I'm building my creative career, and I'm only going to get better as I continue creating more content. So thank you so much to my early patrons. I cannot express in enough words just how incredibly lucky I feel, how grateful I feel, and how much encouragement you have given me in these very early days. As for how I intend to use the monetary support that I receive from my patrons, I will be taking those funds and investing them back into equipment that I need to purchase. For example, right now I use my phone as my camera, which works great, but I do want to improve the production quality of my videos, both on YouTube and on Patreon. In addition to investing in new equipment, like a camera eventually, I will also use the funds from my patrons to offset the costs of upkeeping my website. Basically, the funds that I receive from my patrons, I will be putting directly back into my content creation so that I can continue to improve in the quality of my videos and therefore make even better content for you all to enjoy. Now I'd like to share more about the tiers and benefits of my Patreon page. At the end of February, during the soft launch of my page, I introduced the nymph tier, which is still available, but it now has additional benefits that I've added to it. And I am now also adding the new tier called the damselfly tier. This tier has additional benefits from the nymph tier, and one benefit that I am especially excited about is a book club. I have always wanted to host my own book club, and I'm really excited that I will get to do this through Patreon. This will be a monthly book club, and for the month of April, we will be reading Alice's Adventures in Wonderland and Through the Looking Glass by Lewis Carroll, which happens to be my favorite book of all time. And technically, it is two books that are quite often published together. So if you would like to join my Patreon and you would like to join the book club, the Damselfly tier is going to be where you can participate in the book club. Another new benefit that I'm really excited about is available for both the Nymph tier and the Damselfly tier, and that is access to an audio series called Soothing Stories. These are going to be monthly stories that I write myself, I record and produce, and they are all going to be told from second person. So using you and your, which is not typical for a lot of fiction, but I want them to be really immersive stories. And I want you as the reader or listener to feel as though you are the protagonist of that soothing story. They will be different from month to month, and the sort of thread that weaves through them is that they are all meant to be peaceful and relaxing and, as the title states, soothing. And all of the benefits for each tier are listed under the membership section of my Patreon page. You'll see both the Nymph tier and the Damselfly tier with all of their benefits listed on that section. And I know that I've said this a few times already in this video, but I really would like to give another special thank you to the early patrons who have supported me during the soft launch of my Patreon. Before I close out this video, I just want to let you know that there is absolutely no expectation that you need to support me in a monetary manner. I know that for a lot of us with the cost of living crisis, funds are really, really tight. And so while I am so incredibly appreciative and grateful to my patrons who are able to support me in a monetary way, I can also receive support through likes on my YouTube videos, subscribing to my YouTube channel, following me on social media like Instagram, and following my posts on there, checking out my website. All of these things and touch points for the creative work that I do truly supports me and encourages me. I am just so happy to have you here and to have your support, and just thank you so much. And that is all for this video. Welcome to my Patreon. Happy launch day. Thank you so much for watching.